How are you, friends? I'm fine. I hope you will be all fine. My dear friends, today I'm gonna tell you about a story of birth of Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wa alihi wasallam. Episode 11, The Boycott. Once upon a time ago, our story began. But before we begin, let's say salam on our final Prophet. Alayhi wassalatu wassalam. Sallallahu alayhi wasallam. Excellent job. The kuffar returned to Al-Habasha very angry. They had not been able to convince the king to send the Muslims back. They decided they needed to think of a new way to hurt the Muslims so that they would leave Islam. One of the evil kuffar finally said, I got it, I know what to do. There are still Muslims here in Mecca. And Muhammad and his family are still here too. What do you guys think? If we boycott the Muslims, we won't buy from the Muslims or trade them or sell with them any food either. That way, they'll starve to death. And then they'll have to leave Islam and we won't marry from them either or sit with them or have anything to do with them. Not until they will go back to worshipping the idols. Not until Muhammad's family turns Muhammad over to us so that we can kill him. Only then will we go back to being their friends and things will go back to normal. The other kuffar thought this boycott idea was an excellent idea. Let's write down on a paper and hang it up in the Kaaba. That way everybody will know the plan and stick to it. And so they wrote down the evil plan and hung it in the Kaaba. The poor Muslims, they went to buy food, but the kuffar would not talk to them or even sell them any piece of food. And they would not buy from the Muslims either, so the Muslims would not have money. Sometimes, through traders outside of Mecca would come and they would agree to sell some things to the Muslims. The Muslims will go secretly and buy some food. When a Muslim was able to get the food, she would share it with all the other Muslims because a Muslim has the best of manners and loves for others what he loves for himself. For 3 very long years, the Muslims endured this boycott, staying in a small valley called Sheep Abi Talib. It was almost like they were stuck there. For 3 years, they struggled to find food and eat. But even though things were very hard for the Muslims would not give up and leave Islam. No matter what the kuffar do to us, we'll never stop worshipping Allah. All the Muslims cared about was doing what Allah likes so that they can go to Jannah. When those things were very hard, the Muslims would remind themselves that Jannah had everything they could ever want and more, and that the food in Jannah was 1,000 times better than the food of this life. And so the Muslims were patient. Not a single Muslim gave up or surrendered. Not a single Muslim went back to the kuffar and said he would listen to them and leave Islam. Instead, the Muslims knew they were the ones who were right and that Allah would make a way for them. They knew that even if their bodies were getting weaker, their hearts were getting stronger because of the faith. They know that no matter what happened, they would be the winners because Allah would reward them with Jannah. The kuffar began to feel like the plan was failing. It was not making the Muslims leave Islam. Finally, one day, 5 men of the kuffar had had enough of this boycott. The agreement is really unfair and oppressive. How can we eat and fill our bellies with food and drink while we know that Muhammad and the Muslims are starving and are trapped? No matter what, they are still our people and some of them are relatives. We have to end this. The 5 men agreed to talk to the people of Mecca about canceling the boycott the next day. And so the next day the 5 men went to where the people of Mecca. One of them called out saying, "Workmen, the people of Mecca, is it fair that we eat and clothe ourselves while people from our relatives are dying from hunger, unable to buy or sell? I will not keep quiet until this unjust boycott is cancelled." Another one of the 5 men said, "Yes, we never agreed to the rules of this agreement." The third one answered, "You're right, we are not okay with this agreement." The fourth one said, "What are you saying is right. Anyone who says otherwise is lying. We have nothing to do with this evil agreement." The fifth one said the same thing. Abu Jahl, a very evil man and one of the leaders of Quraysh, got very angry when he heard these 5 men talking. He suspected that the 5 men had agreed together beforehand. He said, "You have agreed in secret." Meanwhile, Prophet Muhammad ﷺ told his uncle Abu Talib to tell the people of Mecca to go check on the paper with this boycott rules. Prophet Muhammad ﷺ said that the angel Jibreel had come down and told him that they would find the paper had been eaten by the ants. So Abu Talib went to the people of Mecca. He said, "I have come to know from Muhammad that Allah has sent the ants to eat the paper you have hung at the Kaaba, except for the word Allah. If he has spoken wrongfully and lied, we will turn him over to you. But if it turns out that he is right and he has said the truth, then his boycott should be cancelled." The kuffar agreed to this agreement. Then they quickly went to check on the paper, and what did they see? The ants had eaten all the paper except the words Bismika Allahumma, in the name of Allah. They had not come close to the name of Allah. The kuffar realized that Allah was the one who did this, and they got scared. They stopped their boycott and went back to buying and selling with Prophet Muhammad ﷺ's family and the Muslims. And even though they had seen this miracle with their very own eyes, they still refused to believe. But what do you think is going to happen next? We'll find out in the next episode. Inshallah.